I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'22 Genesis GV70.
Sport Plus with launch control. Ready. That's pretty quick.
Pretty good for a Genesis SUV. Horsepower and torque.
375 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque from a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6.
Okay, cruising in auto, just floor for me.
Dude, this rips. It picks up really hard. This is a great powertrain. It's the same one that's in basically every other Genesis now.
Surprisingly quick, but like they're not known to be a fast SUV company.
Right, they're more luxurious, but this definitely isn't slow either.
So this is a smaller SUV. The GV80 is the bigger one that can have a 3-row. But before we get into all the stuff, let's boot it into Cliche Corner.
Okay, so taking this Sport Plus trim in the Sport Plus drive mode and automatic downshift, tires squealing like crazy. It definitely understeers. Does not feel quite as capable as the G70, even though it's on the same platform. And a little bit of oversteer. That's pretty impressive for what this is. This kind of competes with a Mercedes-AMG GLC43 and like an Audi SQ5 and like a BMW X3 M40i. So I kind of get it, but maybe, it's also
maybe an Acura RDX as well.
Yeah.
Except this is based off a rear-wheel drive platform where the RDX is a front-wheel drive platform.
Right. This isn't as punchy as kind of all of those, but it's kind of in between all of them. It's a really good mix.
Okay, and my theory is they're not going full sporty stuff for Genesis because they're just going to wait till the electric transition when it's easier.
Yeah.
Because it's like it'd probably be a pain to make a motor that's like a 63 competitor.
And then it'll probably be phased out pretty quickly, unfortunately. So this SUV has never existed before. The GV70 is all new, and Genesis says it's their most important SUV or car that they've ever made. And if you're enjoying reviews of the brand new cars as soon as they come out, consider subscribing.
It really helps to make sure we get them right when they come out. Do it for the algorithm.
Yes, the algorithm. Whatever that is.
Skynet prefers if you're subscribed. And since it's so important, we should probably start off with the looks.
It looks fantastic. One of the best looking SUVs of the year.
Okay, starting with the front end, we have the same style looks as the G70 where everything is kind of softer, more rounded. We've got the same headlights, same grille. And we've got our radar at the bottom, which means once you put a front license plate on this, it is going to look really awful.
Yeah, like really, really bad. But moving around to the side, these wheels are lovely. I didn't like them in photos, but I really like how thick the lips are on them.
And I like them in photos, and I like them in real life. And what would be the Continental recommended tire for Genesis's most important car to date?
The Sport Contact 6.
And then side view, we've got some really nice body lines. There's really cool overlaps. And then this paint color really helps accentuate it, but we've got a lot of overcast right now, so we can't make it pop like we usually would.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult today just because the clouds are coming in and out. But one of the coolest things of the overall side profile is that rear window.
Yeah, the body line comes up from the top and swoops around in the back. I think it is good for making it look coupier.
And the worst part of this SUV from the side is the stance. It's so tall. I get that it's an SUV, but a lot of other SUVs in this class do have like air suspension. You can lower them, and overall they just look better.
Yeah, doesn't super bother me, but I can see how it is a little annoying if you want it to look a little bit choicher.
Yeah, and it also affects the performance because I did have a lot of body roll in Cliche Corner. Like it is noticeable in this SUV.
But I feel like this SUV is like they gave you the power just because they could, and they're like, we're not going to concentrate on the handling. It's like, we're going to give you a little bit more straight line. Like, just don't send it too hard. We got the G70 for that.
Yuri, this was tested and tuned on the Nürburgring.
Whatever. I've never been there. That place doesn't exist yet to me.
Yeah, it definitely exists to me.
Only in video games.
Only in real life, 2 laps. Oh, I haven't said that in a while.
And moving on to the back end, we have awesome Genesis taillights that go across 2 lines. They look so fantastic. And the best part is that third brake light is along the whole spoiler, and it kind of gives me Aston Martin DBX vibes.
I totally see that as well, and it's really good looking from the back, except the exhausts look a little bit weird.
Little bit weird, but bonus points for doing something original. The way it kind of comes out of the black part at the back, I think looks so wicked. And like, it could be so much worse compared to what like Audi and other companies, like the new Infiniti has like these fake chrome things that look like exhaust tips, like a lot, but aren't exhaust tips at all.
Yeah, and then there's also a different trim of this, which isn't as sporty, which has like vertical exhaust, so there are options.
And the thing that sucks the most is that fake grille we have back there along the black thing. If you look at this 911 Targa we also have right now, it's just like plain black. I think they probably could have gotten away with something like that, but there is a lot of like fake grille throughout the car.
Yeah, because that fake grille at the bottom then carries through to part of the
side a
sides,
bit.
which also carries through to the front a little bit, and it just looks a little bit weird.
But the front's got a lot of like normal plastic behind like the actual grille to block it off. I think if they did the back like a diamond pattern, like one of the old Hyundais we did, like the Tucson, the new Tucson,
yeah,
they could have gotten away with that. But I'm like, everything else looks so good, I'm not mad at all.
And since we did talk about the exhaust tips, what does it sound like from the outside?
And what does it sound like from the inside with this pumped-in audio?
Just like every other Genesis with this engine, it's not very good. It's this kind of like droney sound.
But there's 3 levels of turning it down, and we've got it cranked to the max so that you can really hear on this video. So it's nice that you can turn it all off.
Yeah, and it's funny that they changed the names for this particular car. Maybe they'll do that for the other ones, but for what this is, it's pretty funny. Having it off, I think, is the appropriate thing to do in a car like this.
And we also got that cool spoiler at the top of the back, and then we've got Genesis across the whole trunk lid. And then to open the trunk, the button is on the rear wiper.
And if you open the trunk, we should probably do the box test.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Get your own box on patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. So overall, looks-wise, killed it.
Killed it. Like, this looks great.
The little things wrong with it don't really bother me, and I think this looks better than pretty much everything until you put the front license plate on it, and then it kind of all actually completely falls apart.
Yeah, totally would.
New GV80s look so bad with the front plate. I think they need to bring back the radar in the grille so they can drop the license plate at the bottom like Mazdas do.
Yeah, as much as I hate that like plexiglass thing, it kind of makes sense because we have those stupid front plates here. So back to some performance. Again, I'm gonna floor it. It's really torquey. Like, I feel like they updated it more. The way that this all works together feels like it works better than it does in the new Stinger, where it had like a little bit of turbo lag and stuff. I don't know what they did.
Maybe Genesis gets to spend a few more horsepower points.
I don't know, or like they moved the horsepower on the torque curve around. But anyways, it feels really good. We do have an 8-speed auto, and it seems to shift really fine in this. However, if you do use the paddles, I find it to be a little bit slow because that's the same as every other Genesis that gets this transmission. And this is all-wheel drive. It is rear biased, and apparently it can send up to 100% of the available torque to the rear.
Yeah, there's a lot of asterisks around all that stuff. I'm just going to say, cool, we can get it to kind of kick out a little bit. Good enough for what we want.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you can get it to kick around.
But compared to the G70?
Yeah, it's not
it's
quite.
A car, yeah.
Exactly. And like just the amount of body roll, like I don't want to send this that badly. Like you can. It's pretty decently fun. The size of it is pretty good. It does feel just a little bit top heavy just because it's a little bit higher than a G70. But overall, I really like the ride comfort. That's probably the thing that stands out the most.
Yeah, let me put into comfort then.
Okay.
Comfort.
Yeah, there's a lot of drive modes. So it is really comfortable. I don't think it's as comfortable as the GV80, but I also wouldn't expect it to. This doesn't have air suspension, neither did the GV80, but I feel like they did a better job of making that suspension more comfortable.
This is very livable, very nice, very comfortable. Nothing weird about it at all.
Yeah, no, it is really, really good though. But if you're the type of person that does want to send it, this is the Sport Plus model, which is the most expensive model, the most sendable, because we also have an electronic LSD out the back, which, I mean, that's probably the reason we're able to drift and stuff like that. And this is the only trim that gets that.
Yo, we're straight up badge snobs. I am.
I mean, I'm not, but like...
No, we are though, kind of.
Well, you are. I would want the base model because I think I prefer the looks of the regular one as opposed to the sporty one, because I think the bumpers look better with the mesh as opposed to this dark mesh and the color match front bumper.
You lose that exhaust?
You lose that exhaust and you can't get the faster engine. And the last performance thing is you can actually change the brake pedal feel through the infotainment. You can have comfort or you can have sport. I would just leave this in comfort.
Yeah, it's totally fine in that, unless you need to set a Nürburgring time or do some like promo stuff.
Yeah, which I really,
sport.
Yeah, other than like that daily driving, just leave it in comfort.
All right, my turn to drive and talk about all the tech. There is so much, which makes this so amazing.
Yeah.
So there's so much cool stuff in here, I don't even have time to launch this. Starting with opening the door, we have a full dark blue interior that sometimes pops so hard. The fact that they have such a bold color choice is amazing. And then with red stitching and red seatbelts.
Yeah, red seatbelts are a nice touch, and you can even get like a green interior on this.
So unreal. And then this carbon fiber is the next thing you see I did not know you could make this cool of a carbon fiber pattern.
Yeah, shout out for actually doing something different with carbon fiber for once.
And it looks really, really, really good. Next thing, we've got the full digital gauge cluster, but we also have the 3D digital gauge cluster. So it'll track your eyes, and it actually looks really nice. It doesn't hurt my eyes at all.
I don't really like it, but I also kind of think it's really cool.
Love, love, love it. You put someone in this and they look at that, they're gonna be like, wow, this is a cool car. And the reason you get like luxury cars partly is to show off to your friends.
100%, that's why.
And then when you go through all your modes, all the things, the transitions are very nice and in 3D. Love, love, love it. Next thing, we've got highway driving assist, and it works really well.
Highway driving assist 2.
I went like 2 minutes without using my hands on the wheels. Shout out Genesis, better than Tesla. There, I said it. Leave a comment below, fanboys.
Oh, I mean, he's right though. This is really, really good. Highway driving assist 2 also does lane change assist, which is really nice.
But you have to have your hand on the wheel for that. It's not like Mercedes where it'll just kind of do it all yourself. And then you can have your driving assist stuff in the center gauge cluster, and it's got a lot of cool graphics. And if you look on your head-up display, it'll show you if cars are to your left, right. All the information is very easy to read, and you have lane centering and lane departure, which you can all both turn off independently when just normally driving.
And it has a really cool thing where if the guy in front of you is being all sketchy, it'll actually adjust your lane centering. It'll move you off to the side if it thinks the guy in front of you is doing something sketchy, that you should be in the side of the lane rather than dead center.
And the only thing that I don't like about the highway driving assist is that when there's a turnoff, it follows you into the right lane. It doesn't glue you to the left. And then some more cool automated driving stuff. We have the cool automatic parking, which works really well. We have Smart Park, where you can make it go forward and back from the key fob, which I did use in my driveway when it was like close to something. It worked really well.
That's a cool feature. It's impressive.
And then you can also get out and park it with the key fob, which is like super awesome. I don't think anyone else in any other manufacturer can really do that.
What about BMW? I think they do it on the 7 Series.
With that big stupid key though,
yeah,
like it's not as good as this, I don't.
But the key is also even more impressive because it's a digital screen and stuff.
Yeah, but who wants to like have that?
I mean,
and you gotta keep it charged.
Yeah, but if you're here to impress all your friends with all your gimmicks, like, come on,
bro, you could like do this in your pocket without even like showing the key.
Yeah. And the next thing we have is the world's first implementation of a rear occupant alert that's radar based, so it can actually detect a child's sleeping, breathing if you forget them in the back seat, where it'll alert you.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not just like a door thing, like, oh, did you forget something back there? It's actually got an actual sensor for like breathing and stuff.
And then to the back seat stuff to go along with that, we do have peasant blockers back there, which is nice, built into the doors.
And I'd just like to say that we are both new dads, and I have yet to forget my child in the back seat.
Yeah, that's like a serious thing. No,
I know.
You gotta be careful about all that stuff.
Exactly. Have you forgotten your kid?
No, I'm on it. I'm on everything all the time.
Never forget your kids in the back, or your dogs either.
I am so paranoid about everything all the time. You know me, I'm Captain Safety.
Definitely.
Okay, back seat room, I fit perfectly behind myself. You fit perfectly behind yourself. It's nice and comfortable. And then front seat room, we got massage up here.
Yeah, that's I would say that's not exactly segment exclusive, but at this price point, it's really, really good.
And then we can also adjust our bolstering and all that stuff, and then we can have it also adjust to your drive modes and stuff too, if you'd like, which is pretty cool. And then we also have a bunch of drive modes: Eco, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, which turns off one traction, and a custom mode. Then we do have some terrain modes.
And it's a really nice button to actually change your drive modes. Speaking of buttons, we do have a rotary knob, which is kind of cool, but I think it's way better than the one that was in the GV80.
Yeah, this is way better than the GV80 and the G80, that iPod spinning thing. This is so much better, so much better. Update the GV80 and the G80 to this, it kills. Love it.
But the one thing that I don't like is I still get confused as to the parking knob versus the mode selector. I'm sure once you live with this, but in the couple days that we've had it, I can't get used to it. I'm still reaching for the wrong one.
I'm used to it already, so it will be fine, I promise you. And then the rest of this area, we do have this cool little slot that opens up to plug in your USB and put your phone in there and keep it out of the way. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's a wireless charger. My iPhone 12 Pro Max fits down there. We also have cup holders, which pass the cup holder test.
Yeah, you can actually put your arm around it and like get the whole cup with this armrest. It doesn't get in the way.
And what about the visor test?
3, 2, 1.
Full pass.
Full pass. And now moving on to our infotainment.
Whoa, before, what about this crazy screen up here?
It's just a touchscreen climate, which is somewhat intuitive.
It's really impressive. It looks really nice. It is gloss black, but it's also very functional.
Oh, we got dials, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, infotainment.
So we've got a super wide infotainment. It's very nice. It's so much easier to use with this rotary dial than that like iPod shuffle thingy or whatever.
Yo, they still left some screen over here. They could have just, you know, extended it all the way out.
Okay,
I can still see over the windshield.
And it is touch, and it is controlled with the rotary wheel. You can do either. And from my height, it doesn't get in the way of the road at all. It stops like right before the hood ends.
Yeah, it's really good. We do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay.
And in our radio mode, you know how in a lot of the new Hyundais and Kias, we've been complaining that it shows the bulbs for the station. It doesn't show the graphics for the station.
Yep.
This shows the graphics for the station. This is what those ones need.
Yeah, and it's not laggy at all. Everything works really well.
And then when you go to certain settings, like your lane keep assist and all that stuff, it's got really cool animations, like high quality animations of what each safety setting does.
Speaking of animations and high quality, what about our reverse and 360 cameras? Because we can actually rotate around the car in perfect fluidity.
Yeah, it is like so high res, so fast, so smooth. I'm like shocked at how high quality that is. It pretty much beats like most of the competition for that stuff.
This is like tied with Audi, because Audi's like really not laggy.
But Audi's got that like really crappy Porsche warpiness.
But the 360ness, like it goes instant, whereas the BMW, it's kind of like slow.
Yeah, but this is instant and it's not bad warpiness. And one of the last things I want to talk about is that we do have all these hard buttons still to get into our infotainment settings we need, along with the star button that can be mapped to your phone projection. The only thing that I think kind of sucks is we've got the star button on the steering wheel, but it only links up to phone call related stuff, which like I'm never going to use.
But at least you have options.
Yeah, I just wish I had more options.
And the last thing I'd like to talk about is how comfortable these seats are. The quilting looks awesome. I really like this overall interior.
Yeah, and most Genesis seats I've hated. I feel like there's like something pushing into my spine. I've complained about in every one of them. This one, for some reason, I don't feel it. Oh, another thing. You got to stop to adjust your seat settings. Set your seat settings.
Yeah, Genesis. You guys still haven't fixed that for us.
That's the worst part.
It's the memory seat.
And before we get to the price, I'm going to put it into Sport Plus mode and give it a little boot to Cliche Corner.
And as you go into Cliche Corner, this can tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is definitely a couple jet skis worth.
Definitely feels rear wheel drive-ish.
Yeah, but also like understeery a little bit and body rolly.
It's a little messy.
Yes.
But it gets the job done.
Messy is a good way to describe it.
Like I wouldn't buy this for handling. I would buy it for that straight line dad power.
Yes.
Okay. Is that everything?
That's
everything out of the way? Let's get to the price.
A base GV70 starts at $49,000.
Canadian.
And this one is $75,500. Quite a bit of money, but also a lot of bang for your buck.
Like so much bang for your buck. The amount of cool tech in here that is functioning perfectly is so much better than, I guess, a lot of the other manufacturers. Like a lot of other ones screw a lot of stuff up.
Yeah, like there's nothing in this car or SUV that's difficult to figure out. Everything's very intuitive.
The only thing I would like is a built-in dash cam recorder like the BMWs, which I think is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, for sure.
And then tune mix, but like no one else cares about that except for just me, so
yeah, pretty much.
It really doesn't matter.
And you get these really good looks, which, I mean, I think this is one of the best looking in the segment now.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Okay, so this or an RDX?
I mean, this for looks and everything on the inside, the RDX for handling, I think.
I kind of like the rear-wheel drive push because in the winter you won't be able to have any fun with that RDX compared to this.
No, I get that, but the RDX just sent so hard.
So then this against a comparable GLC or a X3?
I think this has less punch than all of those. I don't think it sounds as good. It's definitely less sporty, but I also think it kind of matches the luxury of it.
Yeah, it definitely stands out. And then like there's a lot more impressive stuff like this 3D gauge cluster. The lane keep is like the BMWs kind of shift a little bit.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, no, they nailed their first GV70. And if you're shopping for a new Genesis GV70 and you live in the United States, click the TrueCar link below. There's a discount when using the TheStraightPipes link.
You can also shop for a used Genesis using TrueCar. And if you're in Canada, there's a Car Help Canada link below. So as a family man, would you go for this or a G70?
I'd have to probably go for this, unfortunately. As much as I like how much of the G70 drove, I don't know if I'd just, like, it's not that good. It's really good, but it's not like an M3 or something like that.
And I would go for the G70 shooting brake, even though this is super awesome.
Okay,
and we don't get the
there,
G70
bud.
shooting
Yeah. I'd go for the CLS 63 shooting brake wagon.
brake. Let us know what you think of the new GV70. Leave your comments below. Tell us all about it. What does this have over the competition?
And watch our G70 review and our GV80 and G80 reviews.
Just Genesis day, all day.
Yes.
We should just make a Genesis playlist.
Probably should. Also click this TrueCar link right here.